Hey, welcome back to Photos of Taiwan. My name is Ian. I'm a teacher, a photographer, and a Taiwan enjoyer for the better part of 9 years. Today is day 6 of my Project 365, and I've got something pretty interesting for today. So this is the app that I'm going to use to give me the prompts for the shots I need to take. So let's start with the first one. Wow. Color. I need to find something with color. So let's do it. I like the colors on here. I think this will be a color shot here. There we go. So color is done. What is next? What is next? Portrait. Portrait. I was hoping portrait would come later. Hello, ni hao. Oh, you have a knife. 你可以让我拍照吗? May I take your photo? No, no. I need to do it. I'm doing a project. I need to find someone to take a photo of. Oh. Doesn't say candid portrait. Hello, ni hao. How chuma? And how? Ni koi la mo pai joma? May I take your photo? Okay. Ni koi la. Okay, sheshe ni. Let me go a bit nearer like this. Let me go a little bit down.
Yeah.
Wait, let me change that focus. Let me change that focus to field. There we go. 谢谢你，谢谢。Okay. A little bit dark, but I think it's okay. Right, next. What is next? Architecture, shallow depth of field. Shallow depth of field. Shallow depth of field. This one's going to be easy, isn't it? Would you say it's easy? Shallow depth of field. So I'm looking for something that's a subject. Kind of want something in the background as well. Looking, the bathroom is there. This bathroom, no. So I'm going to set my aperture to 1.7 so that I get the shallow depth of field. There's some interesting stuff here, but it's very dark in here, which is okay because I've got the aperture open. Maybe some fruit. Maybe a, no, wo can,谢谢. So here, shallow depth of field. Okay. Shallow depth of field. Do we have enough in the background to make that qualify? Not really. Need more of the background, right? I need more of the background to give it a bit of a, to qualify the shallow depth, if you know what I mean. There we go. There we go, that's definitely shallow depth of field. So shallow depth of field is done. Right. What is next? What did I do with my app? What did I do with my app? There we go. Next. If I get two of the same, I will spin it again. I don't want to do more than one of the same one. Frame within a frame. A frame within a frame. So this frame within a frame is where we would use something like a pillar or a window frame or a tree to create something to create a frame around the subject. So what I need to do is find a subject that I can actually frame with something. Here. Yes, I think so. Ni hao.
Ni hao.
That one's kind of okay, but not really. Didn't really get it. Look. I mean, let's have a look at that one. Actually, yeah, I got it. Okay, that's done. Frame within a frame is done. Next one. Reflection. Reflection. Now, reflection could be two things, right? Reflection could be a physical. Let me just put this straight. So, reflection could be a reflection like this, or it could be somebody reflecting, if you know what I mean. So, we have reflections everywhere. These are reflections, aren't they? You see? But not really what I want. I want something better than that. We have reflections on the floor. We have a reflection here on this table. You see this one? There's a reflection here. See? But not really what I want. Just seeing a funny shot here. I'll probably take it. Just because it's a funny one, if you know what I mean. Let me set square. Fill the frame with that. There we go. That's not a reflection, no. Ah, here. This is highly reflective. You see this? This surface is highly reflective. So you want to get the lens as close as you can to the reflective surface, and I can do that. Get it right next to it there. Somebody's coming, nice. No, not nice. Ah, they went the other side. Woman with an umbrella. Did I get it? Yes, I got it. Okay, reflection is done. Next. Rule of thirds. Rule of thirds. So for the rule of thirds, I need something that's a fairly strong subject. Hello, ni hao. Rule of thirds is there. No, okay. 没关系, no problem.
Thank you.
We have a sign, a street sign that I could also use, and kind of put that in the rule of thirds.
Coffee?
Coffee? Nali, huh? Second? Huh? Nali.
If you like coffee.
Oh no, I always go here.
I can change.
Oh, I don't
Always
know.
have. Sometimes.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Couple of shots, rule of thirds. Not really happy with rule of thirds with that. Let's look here, rule of thirds. Trying to find an identifiable subject and then positioning that in one of the thirds is the challenge. That's the challenge. Okay. I'm going to say rule of thirds is done. Next. Slow shutter. So, I need to change a few things. I'm shooting on the Leica here. So in the sun, 15th of a second is still too bright. So I can't shoot in the sun there because I don't have an ND filter. If you guys understand this, right? So I need to get the shutter speed down 20th, 30th of a second, something like that. And it's so bright that I can't do that. Let me see if I can change the ISO down to the minimum as well. Eh. 100 ISO. F16. A little bit too bright. Didn't mean to take that then. Maybe here. Maybe here. Let's try 30th of a second. I'm a bit wary because the background over there is very bright. So that's going to cause a problem, I think. I need to find a different location where we don't have that bright background. Not easy. Not easy, this one, because getting a slow shutter speed in the bright sunlight. I'll tell you what I could do. I could switch to my GR3. I'm going to switch to the GR3. I can hear the GR3 fanboys shouting their approval at that. So switch to the GR3. Right, menu, go back, recall, and I'm going to change Shadow Hunter to the motion. So now unit 2, preset 2, box 2 is emotion. Now, why did I change to the GR3? The GR3's got a built-in ND filter, which will help reduce the problem. If you see now, it's the same light, ISO 100, but I'm not overexposed even in the daylight here, even in the bright sunshine. So I'll probably need to take a few of these to get one that I'm happy with. Although not bad to say, must be say it's not bad. Those first few were not bad. Maybe just here. I like the crosswalk, or for those in the UK, zebra crossing. Wow, that's fast. I'm trying to match the speed. Not easy. Here they're very fast. Wow. I'm going to chimp because I need to see whether I've got the shot. That one I really like, actually. Next. What's next? Patterns. 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 So we'll notice that there are many patterns to be seen. textile patterns, floor patterns here like these. I quite like this. I like the patterns on this grate, this one. So I think this is going to be my pattern shot. Switch to square. Okay, patterns is done. Next, symmetry. Symmetry. Finding something symmetrical. The same on both sides. I quite like this as a shot. It's obviously it's not symmetrical, but I've seen it and I'm going to take it. Eye test 3D stereogram, and I think you need those special glasses for that. Symmetry. You guys have probably seen something already and you're going, there, you've walked past it, but I didn't see anything symmetrical yet. I like that symmetrical. Can you see the lanterns? But I don't like the lights above. Obviously a reflection would be a little temple there, look. Is that's symmetry, isn't it? There, symmetry. See? Both sides. Yes. That is symmetry. Okay, I'm going to say symmetry. Done. Next. I'm going to make this the last one for today because I have things to do. Like make the video for one. Decisive moment. Decisive moment. That's a tricky one to end on, isn't it? When there's so few people here. So few people here. Decisive moment. Bear with me while I walk around this old shopping market and I look for the decisive moment. For those of you that may not know what I mean by decisive moment, that term was originally phrased by Henri Cartier-Bresson, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But he gave that name to when something happens that just defines that frame. An example would be mother pushing a pushchair, the baby starts crying, mother leans forward to check the baby, you know, and just as she does that, click, that's the decisive moment. So I need to find something. I just saw something, just the woman on the scooter, she pointed. And as she pointed like this, that would have been the decisive moment. So, I'll try this side. Hey. Okay, do you know what you're doing now? Do you have your plan? Oh, you go, yeah. You go to the island, perfect.
And then later afternoon to the Sufang temple.
Oh, Samfong Temple, yeah, beautiful, yeah. That's nice around like dusk, you know, dusk.
Yeah. That's,
Good idea.
do you know where is the bus?
I'll show you, yeah. So I'll explain what I'm doing. I have this app, this one, right? So I press this,
Okay.
and then it gives me a topic.
Alright.
So I have to find a photo that matches that topic. It's random, you know, there's many topics.
Okay. And you post it on Instagram or do you make a book out
YouTube.
of it at the end?
There'll be a book, but it'll be,
Okay.
this is YouTube mainly, and Instagram every day, yeah. Yeah, our bathroom's just here. This is cool, the noodle factory.
Yeah.
They make the noodles on the machine there.
It's so nice here, but it's such a shame that everything is closed.
Monday, and you're early.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really noticed here that when I go out at like 8 or 9, there's nothing open.
8 a.m.
Yeah,
Bathroom is here.
thank you. But even at 10 or 11, it's still.
So you want to stay up later, okay? You need to be a night owl, okay, here?
I used to be, but since I came to Asia, I am asleep at 10 and I wake up at 7.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Oh well, see you, bye. Oh, by the way, it's Photos of Taiwan.
Photos of Taiwan.
The YouTube thing and and Instagram. Thank you. So, decisive moment. I am still looking for the decisive moment. I need people for the decisive moment. I don't think you can have a decisive moment without people. If this takes a long time, I'm going to cut the video until I find one. Hello, ni hao. As you can see, there are not a lot of people around. Oh, here. Nope. Not sure somebody stuffing their face with food is a decisive moment. Hello. Maybe chopping with that, but it's not easy to see. Not easy to see, right? Zooming on his hands. Missed it. Wow. I don't know, maybe. I got the moment when the knife came down, but is that a decisive moment? Not particularly, is it? This one I'm struggling with, I have to say. I'm struggling with this one. There, over there, maybe decisive moment. I'm very aware that the timer on my video camera could run out because I don't have more than about 50 minutes. Maybe I just got decisive moment then. I'm gonna say yes, I did. I got it. I got it. Just believe it or not, I got it. Right. Today's bonus video is how to overcome the fear of shooting on the street. How not to be afraid, you know, that feeling when you raise your camera and you think, well, am I doing something wrong here? So that's today's bonus. That's today's bonus video. So keep watching because I'm going to show that now.
Hey, welcome. So have you ever felt that jolt of anxiety right as you're about to lift your camera on a busy street? Yeah? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down how to get over the single biggest hurdle in street photography: fear. This feeling right here, it's so common. This quote from Reddit just perfectly captures that heart-pounding moment, doesn't it? That feeling that stops so many incredible photos from ever even being taken. Honestly, that's the starting line for pretty much every street photographer out there. And let's be super clear about something. This is not some kind of personal failing. It comes with the territory. But the good news, the really good news, is that it is completely conquerable. And that's what we're here to do. Give you a roadmap to get from freezing up to finding your flow. Okay, so first things first, let's put a name to the problem. Because before we can even start to solve it, we really need to understand what's actually going on inside our heads when we get that big freeze. You know, when you boil it all down, it usually comes back to these two major anxieties. First, there's that fear of being seen. You know, that little voice telling you you're an imposter, you look weird, or you're being a creep. And then there's the big one, the fear of confrontation. All those worst-case scenarios that just start playing on a loop in your mind. This has nothing to do with your camera settings. This is pure, deep-seated social anxiety. So how in the world do we tackle this? Well, the solution starts inside, by literally rewiring how we think about the situation. The most important work you're going to do is right between your ears. You know, psychology actually has a name for that intense feeling of being watched. It's called the spotlight effect. It's this bias where we all kind of feel like the main character in our own movie and that everyone is watching our every move. But here's the absolute truth. Most people are so completely wrapped up in their own world, their phones, their thoughts, where they're going, they are not paying nearly as much attention to you as you think they are. The photographer Eric Kim just hits the nail on the head here. He says, street photography is 90% psychology. And that perfectly illustrates the core idea, right? Your biggest breakthroughs are not going to come from a new lens. They're going to come from a new perspective. Mastering your own mind, that is the key. So this is the crucial part. You have to make a conscious, active mental shift. Instead of that inner monologue telling you you're an intruder, you reframe it. You're not a creep, you're celebrating humanity. You're not invading someone's privacy, you're documenting a beautiful, fleeting moment that will never, ever happen again. You're creating art. Look, this isn't about becoming fearless overnight. That's not realistic. It's about gradual progress. There's this Japanese concept, kaizen, that's all about small, continuous improvements. Just aim to be 1% braver each time you go out with your camera. Those tiny little steps, they add up. They compound into massive confidence over time. All right, so with our mindset adjusted, let's build on that with some real-world practical steps. We're going to build a kind of confidence ladder, a series of small challenges you can climb at your own pace. But before you even point your camera at a stranger, you have got to eliminate technical anxiety. Think about it. If you're stressed out about your settings, you have zero mental bandwidth left to deal with social stuff. So practice at home. Practice until changing your aperture or your ISO is pure muscle memory. Okay, so here's the ladder. Step 1, start safe. Photograph people you know, people who already like you, your family, your friends. Get comfortable. Step 2, move on to low-stakes strangers. Think about street performers. They want an audience. Or tourist spots where you're just one of 100 people with a camera. Step 3, ask permission. This is huge because it demystifies the whole interaction. And finally, step 4, once you've built up that solid foundation, you'll be ready to go for those beautiful, candid moments. And here are a few little tricks to make that climb just a bit easier. A longer lens, for example, creates physical distance, which can give you a ton of emotional comfort. A smaller camera is way less intimidating. And simple techniques like shooting from behind or just capturing big crowds at a festival let you practice your composition without feeling like you're the center of attention. Okay, but what about the moment we all dread, the confrontation? Let's break down exactly what to do when someone notices you, and maybe they're not too happy about it. This question, this is the one that keeps so many cameras tucked away in their bags, right? The fear of this exact moment can be totally paralyzing. But what if we had a script? What if we knew exactly what to do when it happens? So first, let's just manage our expectations. Our brains are like little Hollywood directors, inventing the worst-case scenario. They're shouting, public shaming, the police get called. The reality, though, in the vast majority of cases, is so much calmer. Often it's just a simple moment of curiosity that can be handled with a little bit of respect. So here's your playbook. First, and this is the most important thing, smile. Your body language completely sets the tone. Don't get defensive. Just listen to what they have to say. Then, briefly and honestly, explain what you're doing. A genuine compliment works wonders. And look, if they still want the photo deleted, just do it. No single photo is worth a major conflict. It's that simple. And this playbook? It absolutely works in the real world. Eric Kim tells this story about a tense encounter where a woman thought he might be a stalker. By just listening, he understood her fear. And by explaining his intent, he turned her fear into flattery. That confrontation actually became a collaboration. It's such a powerful lesson. All right, finally, let's cover the rules of the road, because being a confident photographer also means being a responsible one. And this really involves understanding both the laws of the land and, just as importantly, your own personal code of ethics. Now, it is crucial to understand this distinction. Legality tells you what you can do. Ethics tells you what you should do. And just because something is legal, well, that doesn't automatically make it the right thing to do. Your ethics are your own personal guidelines for practicing this art with respect and with empathy. So, what are the legal basics? Well, in places like the US and the UK, you generally have the right to photograph anyone in a truly public space. But you gotta be aware of those privately owned public spaces like a shopping mall. And remember, these laws can change drastically from country to country. So the big takeaway here is always do your research before you travel. And this is where you answer it to yourself. How do you approach photographing vulnerable people? What about children? A really great guiding question is to just ask yourself, how would I feel if this picture was of me, or my mom, or my kid? Ultimately, as one photographer so perfectly put it, the goal is pretty simple. Be a great street photographer, but don't be a jerk about it. You know, at the end of the day, the fear really starts to melt away when your motivation changes. When you shift from trying to take or capture a picture to being genuinely curious about the world and the people in it, your focus moves from your own anxiety to the story that's unfolding right in front of you. So yeah, the psychological tricks are useful, and those practical steps are absolutely essential. But the real transformation, the thing that changes everything, is internal. It's about choosing to see the world with curiosity instead of fear. So, now that you're ready, what story does your street have to tell?
And I will end this video by saying, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this journey into the randomness of life. And I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow in the next exciting installment of Project 365. Don't forget, like, subscribe. If you'd like to come to Taiwan and do a workshop, I'd happily accommodate you for that, so come on over. And also online mentoring. If you feel that your photography has hit a wall or you need some help with Lightroom or anything like that, I'm very good at doing that stuff. So please contact me. The QR code is going to be shown now. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.